I've just got down here to my venue. It's got some lovely ground bait, sweet fish meal. I riddled it 3 times, got any big particles off. First thing I do, I've got some stewed crushed hemp here with all the oils. I've got a load of hemp water here with some molasses in it. I'm just going to mix my ground bait ever so slightly damp. Perfect. Empty that in there. And then we'll run it back through the riddle. Could have done with a bigger bowl. Well, I've got one there, I suppose. More than enough for today, more than enough. We've got some more dry ground bait here and in there in case we need it. Put that in there, stop it drying out. That's the ground bait done. Let's get set up. First nice stroke for the day. That's obviously pristine. Get it slipped in the net. Well, I'm going to finish setting up. I've just got a tiny little, because it's a little stave here, not expecting too much flow, probably just a whip, a couple of whips set up, and I've got a picker rod. I've had this since I was 15, my first feeder rod, picker rod, when I used to do match fishing on the Boston drains and all the rest of it, around Lincolnshire fens and drains. Got the old Silstar Power Wind match picker, really light, 9.5 foot, little picker rod, tiny little 2000 reel, £3 main line. I'm just going to get a tiny little feeder on there, and it's the 27th of December. It was 4 degrees, 3 degrees this morning. The car was a bit frosty, or not solid frost, but it was like sleety snow on the windscreen. It's about 7 degrees now. A little bit of a breeze, but the last sort of 5 days with that ice, still got it today, it's not quite so bad. That ice cold northeasterly wind, northerly northeasterly, it's been bashing in. But right, we'll get set up and I'll get back to you in a minute. Okay, perfect. Just at the bottom of the body. That's going to be my edge rig. I decided to go, I've got an edge rig. I'm just going to set 2 more whips up. This is just a 3-metre whip. It's got 1.5 pound hook link on, really fine. Size 20, and you're not going to be able to see that. Really fine hook, Gamakatsu green, really fine, small, fine wire hook. And it's got number 10s, 3 number 10s just spread out. But I might just bring them down a touch. So what I'm going to do is, I'll get set up and then I'll talk you through everything. I think today, as I say, it's been really bitterly cold, frosts for the last week. I've not done out and done a bit of general course fishing for a while, so I'm just really going to just feel myself into it today. Definitely not going to go gung-ho with the bait. Going to go really sparingly. Just see if we get a few indications. Again, with the bomb rod, it's got a 1.7 pound hook link on, size 20, B5 20 on there, and I just one of the homemade little feeders I made, tiny little three hole cage feeder for about 20 grams on there, just running straight through one of the Drennan micro stocks there, and I've clipped up and I'm just aiming towards that one side. Bar back marker. I'm just going to lightly plug that bit of ground bait, like a couple of maggots, and we'll just go from there with that one. But I'm not going to cast in yet. I'm going to finish setting up, take my time, make sure I plumb up, cover my options, and we'll go from there. Just going to start with maggots and worms and just see if we can get a bite first. If any skimmers arrive or decent roach, and start introducing a few other bits and pieces. But at the minute, the wind's bitterly cold again. It's very slow. Not had a bite yet, so as I say, it's a case of feeling my way into it, I think. DNA. Been water licked. Well, I've only been here for half an hour, 45 minutes, but you just get that feeling, don't you? Is it going to happen? But yeah, we're out, we're trying, and fishing in the middle of winter, things are going to be difficult, so sometimes it's a case of just being patient, thinking things through methodically, and just gently sort of feeling your way into it. Okay, I've just stepped up to 30 gram feeder, just so I can get a bend in the tip and see it more, and it's looking a lot better. I've just tipped it with half a worm, just half feeding the feeder with ground bait. I don't want to overdo it. It's just the same amount of maggots. I've had a little run through on the inside line, nothing at the minute. I'll show you the baits for today, what I've got. Just keep it really simple. Got my ground bait here. It's just really fine ground bait. Some breadcrumb, fish meal, coriander, and flecks of coconut in there. Some crushed hemp which is stewed. Really nice and light ground bait. Could just fall a ball. I've got some here which we'll probably get in a minute. I'm going to slop some up, get it a little bit wetter, just to make a nice cloud in the water. Got a few maggots, reds and whites. The hemp which I did yesterday, it's a good pint of hemp, but not even going to use 9/10 of that, I would imagine. About a quarter of a pint of casters, way past the best. Got loads and loads of worms with me. Got loads of worms. Sweet corn, which I've opened, but I've not even used any yet, and I doubt it. And about half a pint of dead maggots. and a few damp and 2 mils. Okay, this is going to be my 4 metre line. Weed there. There's a bit there now. Hold on this one. Touch of depth off of that. About another inch, I think. Okay, we'll see how that does. Another half an inch. It's going to be my second rig, 4 metre line. 9:15. We haven't even started fishing yet, but not in a hurry today. I suspect didn't want to get here too early in the pitch black and cold, because I don't think the fish are going to start feeding, say, till the sun come up and a little bit of warmth. Okay, with this rig, again, it's just 4 metres to hand. Same again, I've got a 1.5 hook link. 2 tiny little number 12 Stotts droppers there. I can move them together. Don't know if you can see it. And then just a tiny little bulk of 4 number 10s. And again, that's the size. This looks like a size 22. Going old school. Size 22. Amazon B520. I love this float. Tiny little desk. 4x14s. Wherever that is. Yeah, 4x14s. Really, really fine. Fine bristle. Fine carbon stem. And what I've been thinking is on the whip lines, I don't want to pile in the ground bait just yet. But what I'll probably do is I'll start each one with just one small bait dropper with a few maggots in, just a loose bit of the ground bait in there, and a few casters, and I mean I'm talking like 3s and 4s to start with, just to see if we can get a bite. Like, that's that line done with. I'll get the feeder out, I think, while I'm setting up the other line. I'm going to start with 2 white maggots, because it's a small hook. I'm just going to go through the skinny bit end. Just going to push them through. What, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 maggots. And 2 or 3 casters. And I'll show you bait in a second. Remember to hit the clip. That's that, perfect. I'll probably take a wind or 2 off of that. I want it a little bit into another foot or 2 into the river rather than to the far side, but we'll see. I can sink this line a little bit better. The problem with having a feeder this light is unless you've got a rod as soft as this, it's quite difficult to tighten up on it. Because as soon as you try and tighten up, you're just moving the feeder. We've got really like a ½ ounce tip in here. Right, it's time to get a little bit of bait in. I'm going to start with the inside one and just put one small bait dropper down and just let that settle for sort of 20 minutes or so. It's all, I forgot, it's like, I used to do this all the time back when I was a lot younger, match fishing days, and back in the like sort of late 80s into the 90s. It was all on the fens and drains, like 22s, 24s in the middle of winter, and just ultra light fishing and £1 hook links and whatever. And when it's cold and you got a breeze on like this, everything's so hairy, fairy and difficult when you're not used to it. But be really gentle with everything. You're gonna break the hook link or whatever. Just literally, it's got a few maggots, about 8-10 maggots, half a dozen casters, just a little bit of ground bait. Line and just hold like that. Good. Snap the hook link just where the hook is. I'll have to tie that on. That's what I mean. It's just when everything's this hairy fairy, it's got to be so gentle. Maybe that bait dropper's going to be a bit too heavy, so I might need another plan. Yeah, I've just got to be so gentle with things. It's quite difficult when you one minute you're on the beach casting 6-ounce leads, and the next you're fannying around with 1.5 and 1.2 pound hook links, and I've got a bite on there. I've got a bite. See why people go commercial fishing now. This hairy fairy stuff can get a little bit testing. Bait looks good. Yeah, bait's fine. But I'm going to do the same. With the 4 metre. Yeah, I'm just going to do the same with this one. A little bit of ground bait. But it's going to be a little bit more bait in here, just to see. Got a dozen maggots, a couple of bits of hemp. Okay, but it's time for the jacket on. That wind's picking up again. That wind is raw. Time to put the jacket on. Oh, time for a coffee. Defo. You all have a good Christmas, guys. Hope you all had a good Christmas. Hope you got loads of goodies. Yeah, it was nice. I had a lovely Christmas. I was the guest this year, which was nice. Went over to my daughter's Christmas Eve. The other daughter was there, and the daughter's house I was staying at, she's got a partner, and his dad came over and had a nice 3 days. Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, Boxing Day. Well, I came back about 10 o'clock-ish, left about 10 o'clock Boxing Day. Come back and got a few bits and pieces sorted for today. I've got some nice, lovely presents and bits and pieces for my GoPros and some lights that go underneath for night filming and a new reel and some bits and pieces, so it'd be nice just to get a bite, I think. I'm just wondering what to do with the other pole. I mean, I've got the 4 metre line, which is quite, you know, it's about a metre short or halfway. I don't want too much bait going in the same area. I'll probably set the other one up to about 6 metres, slightly heavier rig, and have that one just a little bit further down the peg so I can run it down. First nice rope for the day. It's absolutely pristine. I'll get it slipped in the net. Morning guys, how you all doing? Welcome back to the channel. This morning I'm just out at Ludden Bridge. Just literally right next to the bridge peg. There's all boats down there, can't get in. I think it's about, must be about 8:30, something like that. Got a bite, got a bite. Got a bite. Just set up a feeder. I had one cast with a little bit of worm. 2 nice bites, but I missed it. And then I've set up a whip, 6 metre whip to hand. And I've just been feeding, I've just fed 2 tiny balls of ground bait, but I mixed it really wet, quite heavy, because there's a fair flow down there. And I've laced it with loads of crushed hemp, loads of hemp, a few casters, and a few dead maggots. And I've just had 2 roach. There's about a dozen twitchers up there on the bridge. They're all watching me. Apparently there's a rare bird of prey, a red kite or some kite. It's got black wings. It shouldn't be in the UK, but it's obviously got lost or something with the storms and whatever. Oh. I missed it again. It's running it through the peg. If you can see if I move forward a bit, I might have to turn the camera. I'm using my Pivo today, so that's why it's tracking me all over the place. I'll probably... Oh, we're in again. Very little fish. But with that flow out there, another nice roach. Right, let's just put this away and then we'll have a talk through what we're going to do today. Yeah, I decided to come here today. Got a little tweak on there. Keep an eye on that. Yeah, definitely a little pull. Decided to come here today because I wasn't out yesterday, the day before. It's the 29th today. 29th of December. I was out on the 27th. And I went down to the Staith, the River Thurn. And I got there about the same time. I was fishing about 8 and give it till half 11. And I never had one bite all day. One bite. It was ice cold. It was about -3 when I went out, scraping the car. The river was clear. Fish has got a nice colour in it today. Remember to keep feeding. It's a whip line. And I've put a little nugget of ground bait in as well. I've put a few maggots in there. Not going to feed a lot. Not going to feed a lot. It's a tiny little ball and I'm squeezing it really hard. Just like marble size of a walnut. Squeezing that hard. Get it right down on the bottom. Sink nice and quickly, get straight down. Yeah, there's a fair breeze as well that day. It was quite windy, and I just didn't get a touch. And when I got down there, I thought, right, I know what that place is like. It could be hit and miss and all or nothing. I ain't gonna give that long. Bring it in a second. So I went pretty negatively. I started with like really light rigs on the whip, but I fished it really poorly. I've got to admit. Just watch this boat. It's a good time to bring this in. Yeah, I fished it really poorly. I just got everything wrong. I'm first to admit it. Got it all wrong. Wait till this boat passes. Put a little bit of worm on. Bit of a dendrobina this time. Yeah, the rigs were too light. I went for like really light rigs, like 4x10s, 4x12s. But with a stiff, strong downstream breeze, the floats weren't sitting properly. They were sitting forward. And it's never got presentation right. The feeding was shocking. The ground bait, a mix too dry. It was too fluffy and it was just exploding. Should have wetted it up more. And yeah, I was just, because I was fishing the whip. I know I should have fished the pole. Obviously, didn't have a pole pot or anything, and I was trying to throw it in by hand, and it weren't far. It was only 6-7 meters, but it wasn't accurate enough. And some was going short, some was going a bit far, and bit to the left, bit to the right. I think if I had, you know, if I'd have wetted the ground bait up more like this, nice and wet, and so I can get a ball straight down to the bottom, and just fished a sort of 3/4 of a gram rig on the pole, short line, to avoid the wind. And just because there wasn't a lot of flow, just held it steady. Yeah, I think if I fished it properly, I might have been able to tempt a bite, but I set up a flat float, but it's 1.5 gram, which was the lightest one I've got, and that was too heavy. It was sitting forward, and the other floats were pulling back and getting pushed around by the wind, and I came away with my tail between my legs, kicking myself. And I knew when I was driving home and I was thinking about it, I just got it all wrong. The icy cold wind all day. It was really cold, really cold. Didn't get up above 5 degrees, but boy, it was bitter, that wind. I've actually come down today. I've just stripped off 2 layers already. So I thought I'd come here and try and restore a little bit of pride. So, well, I'm not going to go gung-ho with the bait and the feed, because that water is really cold. And basically that's it. And then I ain't going to give this feeder too long. If things don't start picking up soon, the pull there, I'll probably change that hook. It's too big. I think that's a size 12. I should change the hook, go down to a size 16. But I thought, yeah, I'll come here today. I know this place, touch wood, it's never let me down yet. There's always a few roach and dace and bits and pieces. So I'm going to finish setting up the other whip. And as I say, I'll run it down the inside and then I'll get back to you. Yeah, so I've got a 6 metre whip to hand. I've got 1.8 pound hook link. It's a Seal Star. I've got 2 tiny number 10s, droppers, probably about 8 inches away on the hook link. It's running up to a bulk, number 8s and 6s. And I've just got my trusty 1.5 gram Avon style pole stick float. And I've also set up the feeder, which I'm going to concentrate on a little bit more now. Did put a big bit of worm on to start with. I've just got my Zebco trophy feeder rod, so a light medium feeder. And I'll run you through the bait in a minute. I'm going to be brave today. I'll try a couple of bits of corn, just to see if there's any decent roach out there. Maybe a skimmer. A couple of bits of corn. Ground bait. I've got 2 ground bait mixes today. Well, I've got 3 actually, but I'll run you through that in a minute. Just going to pop a few grains of corn in there. Pinch of dead maggots. Pinch of casters. I've got loads of worms with me. Right. I mustn't forget to keep feeding my whip line. Right. And just aiming for, there's like a candlestick holder thingy on the edge of the roof of that greenhouse over there. I'm just going to see if I can hit the clip. Feed is down. Loosen a bit of line up for that. And I've also got what I'm going to do in a minute. Just set up a little 3 metre whip for down this inside. And it's going to put a 1 gram Drennan roach hook on, plumb the depth, and just run this down on this inside where it's slack here. You can get some skimmers and decent roach in this slack water. At the minute, it's pushing through the bridge pretty hard. And there's a nice flow, and when it's like this, really wish I'd have bought a stick float rod, 14 foot, 15 foot stick float rod, because it's brilliant to run it down on this crease down here. Right, so I'll do that in a second. Quickly run you through some baits. Got my ground bait for the feeder, which I've darkened off a bit, with loads more molasses. and found a bit of soil, bit of molehill soil. Wasn't a lot, but put it in there, and I mixed it again. Quite heavy today, so I can just one squeeze. It's quite wet today with this flow. This is for my whip line. It's got loads and loads and loads of hemp in there, loads of crushed hemp, some casters, a few dead maggots. I've got about half a pint of red and white maggots hanging in there, loads and loads of worms, all buried at the bottom there, load of worms, tin of corn, about half a pint of casters, way past the best, half a pint of dead maggots, been in and out the freezer no end of time. And what I've done as well, I've got some more ground bait here which I've really over wetted. It's quite sloppy, just in case I need to bring some fish in on the feeder line. And I've got some dampened 2 mils as well, which I'm putting through the feeder. I forgot to do that time actually. We're in again. Very little fish, but with that flow out there, another nice roach. Nice skimmer. That didn't take long to set up the 3 metre whip. I think it must have been made to measure. Literally dropped it off the edge, didn't even have to move it. It's absolutely inch perfect. So basically, yeah, I've got a 3 metre whip. Again, really light hook link, 1.8 pound. This is a size 20 Cammers and B512, the red medium gauge wire hook. It's like the B520, it's just red. A number 8, a number 6 dropper, and a little bunch of number 6s running up to a 1 gram Drennan wire roach. As I said, fishing off the edge. Just held it out like that, lowered it down. It's just literally to the where the orange bristle starts. It looks like it might need another shot. And I've just sprinkled a little bit of hemp in there, a few casters, and a few maggots, and that's it. I'm just going to see if we can get anything to come in a little bit closer on this inside line. I might have to go a little bit further out, but because it's a shelf there, if I come really close, I can see it sliding away. Every sort of like a couple of inches out I go, it's dropping off, dropping off, dropping off. A little nugget of ground bait in. Tiny nugget. Squeeze, still going to squeeze it pretty hard. Drop that in. See that going straight down. It's got a single white maggot on this time. That looks like a little indication there. Over that, it might be a bit of weed. Just on a bit of weed or something. You never know, they might be further out. It might just take them a little while to. I'll put on a double red maggot because that's what I had success out there on the other line. Since we got a red hook on, I know it's horses for courses and everything, but I love and you love. We love fishing and that. But them twitchers weren't half getting excited, I'll tell you. They're running around like a bunch of tits up there. They were really excited. Calm down a wee bit. Just squeeze a tiny little nugget like that. It's feeding the same spot, but I've just gone a little bit further out. I don't want to start feeding further and further beyond my float. I'd rather feed on my float or closer towards me. But what I'll do is just give it this run through, because it seems I will put a shot on there in a minute, but it seems to me at the minute they want to be out in that fast flowing water, not here on the inside at the minute. That might change as the tide slows down and turns. I'm going to bring this feeder in because I've had nothing. I'm going to give it one more go. Start feeding a little bit heavier with some the way I started it with some dead maggots and plenty of dead maggots and casters and bits and pieces. That maggot's good. That's all maggots are good. We'll go for 2 reds and a white maggot. Good old bream favourite. Plenty of dead maggot, a few casters. Just a couple of grains of corn, 3 or 4 grains of corn. I'll plug that and get it out. I'm going to aim for that candlestick holdery thing. Make sure that line's sunk, still coming back. You still see the 2 B's coming together. Okay, it's sunk. Right, let's see how that does. Right guys, it is 12:30. What another grueler. Couple of roach earlier on. I had 1 skim of bream. Battery died on the chest cam. Probably didn't get that, but it's in the net anyway. But I've tried everything. Nothing on the inside. There's a couple of roach earlier on 6 metre line. Problem is the river's dropping out fast and I just can't get the presentation. I've tried 3 different rigs. I've got a flat float on now, a 3 gram flat float, and hoping just to keep it static. But the way this peg is, well, that's under the bridge here. Alright, how you doing?
I'll disturb you too much.
Yeah, you alright, Mo?
Put that one here in a minute.
Yeah, I ain't gonna be too long anyway. Yeah, I'll bring it in if you will.
There in a minute.
Yeah.
Cheers, mate.
And I was saying,
Handled particularly well, this boat.
well, one of the maggots has gone, but whether it's a bite or not, I don't know. Yeah, even with the flat float, it's just I can't get it to hold. I can get it to hold static, stationary, but the problem with the flow here is it's just waving in and out. I found that on the pole line as well, on the whip line, it's just so turbulent, and it's either blasting through. Yeah, the flow's either belting through, or if I just drag it an inch or 2, it's just really static and slow, and then it's swirling back, and again it's flowing in, flowing out. Come a bit closer in, and it starts to drift back to the left before swirling round again. It's just not sitting right at all. The bottom's so uneven. I plumbed up like 5 or 6 times, and I'm just about an inch on the bottom, but certain places it's holding up quite bad, and other places I feel like I'm not on the bottom enough. Because if you dink it around on the same line up and down the peg, it just it's all over the place. I really could do with I have done it here before with this peg, as I say. A stick float, just a heavy stick float, like a 5-6 BB, bolt down and just run it in that main current and let it trot along. But with running line, but I can't do that, so I'm really limited. Even if I go close in, it's flowing back towards me because of the bridge. It's great where these boats are because you get an even flow. But here, on this peg, it's really limited. For whatever reason, it was good when I got here at a high tide. It was flush up to this bank and boarding there, but now it's dropped out a couple of foot. It's just turned off, just switched off completely. Doesn't matter what I try, you know. I've not gone gung ho with the bait at all, but I've kept a little bit of bait going in. You have to, with the river flowing like this so hard, your bait's just going to get washed away, and if you've got no bait in your peg, you're not going to catch. But I've tried small nuggets of ground bait, I've tried bait dropper. Then I sort of left it for 15-20 minutes, let it settle, and just really sort of like half a dozen bits of castor and hemp through. It doesn't seem what I try, just can't get a bite. Can't get a bite at all. Just gone over to the maggot feeder, just to hope, more than anything else, just to see if I can buy a bite. But I should probably give it 5-10 minutes and then call it quits, because he's probably going to move in here as well with his boat. Well, I'm all done back at the car, guys. It's 1:30. All the twitchers are still on the bridge. There's about 20 or 30 of them. I thought fishermen were mad going out in the middle of winter, ice cold weather. But they've been there literally about 20 minutes after I got there this morning. They've been there all day looking for a black tip red kite or something. I was just talking to a guy. They're obviously a rare occurrence, come from Eastern Asia. So they're getting a bit more popular, or a bit more, you know, the sightings a bit more regular over the last couple of years. And I was just saying, are they breeding? He doesn't think so at the minute, but I was saying, you know, if they take residence here in the UK, will they push our resident red kites out, or will they be on the prey list? He said possibly, you know, they'll shoo them out the area. So yeah, not good. Another invasive species, although it's avian. But another hard day. I didn't film the end of it. One skimmer bream, about a pound, and 6 roach, and all pretty much within the first half an hour of the roach anyway. And then a skimmer just out the blue. I switched lines because my initial line on the feeder, 3 or 4 customers bringing back mussels, tiny little mussels. So I went a little bit closer in, same line, still clipped up. A bit further down the river where I got that bream from, but no other fish. But 2 lads have just come down piking, and another 2 came down coarse fishing, and they've just come from Wroxham, and said it's absolutely rammed. No one's catching a thing. And it's been like that for the last sort of 5 days a week on the Broads. It just seems to have shut down. Normally this place is rammed full of fish in the winter. Normally, you know, roach, bream, a chuck. But whether there's been an influx of salt, flood water, although it's not rained prolifically, probably once in the last week, but it has gone cold. So whether that's just sudden drop in temperature, whether they're taking time to climatise, I don't know. But we at least didn't blank. We got out. I saved my blushes a little bit. Hope you enjoy the video. Tight lines, guys, and I'll see you again next week. Bye for now.